So, now that your systems are solid and your processes are running smoothly, we could finally dive into the most exciting parts of this workshop, starting with automation. This is where we stop doing the work that machines can do better and start freeing up your brain power for higher level thinking. Automation is one of the fastest ways to buy back your time, reduce human error, and scale your business with confidence. But here's the golden rule: only automate what already works manually. If the process is broken or unclear, automation will only multiply the confusion, and you'll scale chaos instead of results. So, why automate in the first place? When done right, automation can save you 10 plus hours a week doing repetitive tasks, standardize how your team operates, improve follow-up and conversion rates, reduce human error and missed opportunities, and most importantly, help you buy back focus so you can actually think like a CEO again. This is where you begin to truly shift from operator to owner. Let's start by going over some of the highest leverage areas to start automating. So the first one is CRM tasks. Your CRM is ground zero for automation. You can auto-create contacts from website forms. You can tag leads based on source or funnel stage. You can assign leads to the right rep or trigger follow-up reminders or sequences. Another place to automate is lead nurture sequences. So you can keep your pipeline warm with automations that do the heavy lifting, such as email and SMS drip campaigns, follow-up nudges after calls or opt-ins, and re-engagement campaigns for cold leads. You can also automate internal alerts within your business. So you could keep your team in the loop automatically via Slack or email notifications when a new lead comes in. And you could also auto-generate tasks in project tools like ClickUp or Asana. Client onboarding is another way you could automate. So you could deliver a seamless, hands-free client experience by sending welcome emails and resources automatically. You can trigger calendar invites after a deal is closed. And you could use tools like Zapier and Make to send documents, links, or instructions instantly. We'll talk about those in a minute. And of course, there are plenty of other countless microtasks you can automate. Anything that's predictable and doesn't require human judgment, you can automate. All right, to bring it all to life, here's a breakdown of the key platforms I recommend depending on your use case. So, starting with LLMs, we already talked about these. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity aren't traditional automation platforms per se, but when combined with other tools, they become powerful automation enhancers. So, I use these for SOP creation, coding assistance, content generation, helping with CRM logic, and just answering general questions I have. Speaking of your CRM, there's a lot of automation that could happen right inside of it without combining with extra tools. So if your workflow stays within one platform or you need to do tasks all within one platform, check if your CRM can already handle it before trying to connect external systems. But with that said, if you do have to do that, there are platforms out there for you. So Zapier, Make.com, and NAN are 3 different automation platforms I currently use. There's plenty more out there, but those are the ones I'm going to be talking about because I have experience with them. Zapier is probably the easiest to use, and it's great for simple connections and also very user-friendly for non-technical users. So I would highly recommend starting with Zapier. Similarly, Make.com is a little bit more advanced with some branching logic, but still uses a visual interface and is generally user-friendly. NAN, on the other hand, is very powerful. It supports custom code, APIs, and modular workflows. It's probably best for technical teams and developers, though. And this platform is where AI agents really start to come into play, but that's a whole nother topic for a future video. Then we have Google Workspace. So you can always use Google Workspace if that's the platform you typically use to organize your business. There's built-in API hooks within Gmail, Sheets, and Forms to connect your workflows and trigger actions. So always consider that if Google is kind of serving as your CRM or management of your business. Then a little bonus platform I've been really enjoying using lately is Clay.com. This one's certainly a hidden gem. It aggregates data from Tons of sources such as LinkedIn, Zoom info, Google Maps, etc., all on the internet to enrich your leads. So it's really good at building highly targeted campaigns with accurate data, especially useful in sales or outreach heavy businesses. So take a look at Clay in your free time. Let's now talk through some real automation examples that you can steal and implement for your own business today. These aren't theoretical, these are simple, high leverage workflows that I've either used myself or helped clients build. They save time, reduce mistakes, and make your back-end operations run like a machine. So, first up, what happens when someone books a call in your business? Instead of manually entering the info, sending a follow-up, or pinging your team, here's how it could actually work. Someone books a call, then they're automatically added to your CRM. They instantly receive a personalized intro email, and your team gets pinged in Slack so no one misses a beat. That's a simple automation, but it replaces 3 to 4 manual tasks and ensures every lead gets a fast, consistent experience. Here's another one. When a lead fills out a form on your site or landing page, you can set up a sequence like this. Tag that lead based on the campaign that they came from, then automatically assign them to a rep, and automatically create a workflow follow-up task to make sure they're contacted within 5 minutes or an hour. No lead slips through the cracks and your sales process becomes trackable, not chaotic. Next, let's say you're active on social media. You post a reel or a video on Instagram, but you also want it on YouTube Shorts. With the right setup, you can your post can automatically trigger and republish to YouTube. No double uploading, no waste of time, just one action, multiple platforms. Here's the final one. When a Stripe payment hits, let's say a client signs up or an invoice is paid, you can build a flow like this. The payment details get added to a Google Sheet for tracking, and your VA gets a Slack message instantly with the info they need to start fulfillment. No more back and forth. No more, did you see this payment come in? Everything just works. These kinds of automations are powerful not because they're flashy, but because they can save you hours over time and reduce the chance of human error and create consistency across all of your operations. But before you start plugging things into Zapier, here's a quick and important warning. Don't automate too early. Automation is powerful, but only when the foundation is powerful as well. You should only automate something if it's been clearly documented, it already works well when done manually, and if it's clear, repeatable, and trackable from the start to finish. Here's the truth. Automation scales clarity, but it also scales chaos. If you automate a broken process, all you're doing is making a mess happen faster. So be intentional. Use automation as a tool to scale what's already working, not as a shortcut to avoid clarity. We're building a machine here, and machines only run smoothly when every gear is in the right place. Let's move on to choosing your tools and building your first automation. Let's bring it all together with a real example from my own business. So when I was running my land flipping company, I didn't start with automation. First, I made sure that everything worked manually, the CRM, the follow-up sequences, the lead stages, and the team handoffs. It was all mapped out, tracked, and running like a well-oiled machine before I touched a single automation tool. Only then did I start layering in automation. Here's what it looked like in practice. Whenever a lead CRM status changed, it would automatically trigger a follow-up text and email completely hands-off. When someone booked a call on the calendar, it would automatically trigger a pre-call sequence, giving them the information they needed and setting the stage for a smoother conversation. And after each sales call, we had a post-call workflow that would automatically assign next steps and follow-up tasks to the right rep so nothing fell through the cracks. All these automations added up to a massive improvement in speed, consistency, and lead experience. We responded faster, we closed more deals, and most importantly, the system didn't rely on me manually managing every detail. It gave a team structure that worked without micromanagement. That's what we're trying to build here, a machine that scales your time, your results, and your team's effectiveness. So, leading to the homework for this module. I would start by identifying 3 repeatable tasks in your business that can be automated. Then, what I would make sure you do before you try anything is map out the manual steps to each if you haven't already. Then, choose your tool on how you will accomplish it. It could be in your CRM, it could be with Zapier, it could be with the help of some other tools like ChatGPT. And I would document the process all within your SOPs. Finally, I have a automation starter kit that if you message me, I'll send your way. Take a look at that to help you out with your journey in automating. This is how you stop wasting your time on tasks a machine could do 24/7 and start operating like a business that can scale without burning you out. Let's keep building. You're almost out of the weeds.